Ito ang Broad Stream Cast Communicators, ang naiiba at kakaibang plataporma sa digital broadcast mula Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao hanggang sa iba't ibang dako ng mundo. Broad Stream Cast Communicators, ang sandigan ng sambayanan mula sa walang labis at walang kulang na pagbabalita, paglilingkod, maglalahad ng mga mapagbuong komentaryo at usaping pambayan para sa kapakanan ng karamihan. Broad Stream Cast Communicators, tuwirang maglilingkod ngayon hanggang sa susunod na henerasyon.
Hello, welcome, magandang umaga sa lahat, and this is your co-anchor on Wednesday show, Shrey Sharma. And as you can see today, we don't have Miss Jaye C Bautista with us because she is busy taking care of her requirements for medical equipments and all for her Monday operations. So that's why I'm here with you today on Broad Stream Cast Communicators page. And today we will be talking about a lot of new things. First of all, very sorry because I'm late. It's already like I'm late 20 minutes late because of some technical issues and all. That's why it's okay. So welcome. And this is Shrey Sharma. Good morning to everyone. Hope you all are doing great and keep on doing great. That's great. Okay, so first of all, let's quickly go on to the news, okay? The headlines of Philippines. So Metro Manila Mayor unanimously called to downgrade NCR to alert level 1 by March 1. Exactly. So all Metro Manila mayors recommended lowering the alert level status in the capital region to the most lenient alert level 1 starting March 1. Exactly. So this announcement was made on Wednesday morning, that is today, to downgrade the pandemic restrictions. Yes. So this announcement came after it was determined that the capital region's COVID-19 positivity rate has decreased to below 5% for the first time since December 26, last year, December 26. That's okay. That's good. And OCTA research fellow Guido David said that the average daily attack rate in the region went down to 2.85, while the reproduction number was stable at 0.21, indicating very low risk. Exactly. So this means that the positivity rate, which refers to the percentage of all tests that came out positive, is now within the World Health Organization, that is WHO's recommendation of 5% for opening economies. At a press briefing Monday morning, acting palace spokesperson Carlos Nogreles said that the experts are still studying the de-escalation of several areas down to alert level 1. And this is a report from Franco Luna. Exactly. So this is the top headline of today's morning. Exactly. So now this time, let's continue. Okay. So what I can see. So now this time, let's move on to the international news. Exactly. So this is the time to go on to the international news. 1 second. Okay, so today as I'm here, so today I'll be talking a little about India as well. So the first news that India sends first batch of the wheat aid to Afghanistan via Pakistan. Exactly. India is the first one to send the first batch of wheat aid because the people living in Afghanistan are, quite, their economy is not good. So India has sent the aid to them. Exactly. Now, US President Joe Biden sanctions Russia and its elites cutting off Western financing and access to markets. Exactly. Speaking at the White House, Biden said that there will be more sanctions if Russia moves further into Ukraine, as he expected it would. Biden said if they move further, we have further sanctions ready. He warned, saying everything Russia was doing pointed to a fuller invasion of Ukraine. Exactly. Biden said Russia's action constituted a flagrant violation of international law and it demanded a firm response from the US and its allies. Exactly. He also accused Putin of historic revisionism for questioning the very existence of Ukraine. There is no question Russia is the aggressor, the US president said. Exactly. Okay. So now this time, let's move on to the one more international news. Okay. Okay, just a second. Okay, so here we go. So Trump says that everybody wanted COVID-19 vaccine when he was president, despite the fact that millions of his supporters rejected them. Exactly. So the former President Donald Trump said everybody wanted to get a COVID-19 vaccine when he was still in the president post and blamed vaccine mandates for low vaccine uptake among some segments of population, even though millions of his supporters have refused to get vaccinated. Trump, who falsely claimed vaccine caused autism in children as a presidential candidate, told the development of COVID-19 vaccine while he was president. Exactly. Okay. So Trump said that he Trump said, I think what we do get great credit for that. They tried, but it didn't work. Even their side said you can't do that. Is Operation Warp Speed. Trump said in an interview with the City Travis. Exactly. Okay. So welcome. Good morning, Miss Angela Paz, and happy Wednesday. Yeah, Ma'am J is not here, and because she's taking care of her medical equipments and all her requirements and all, that's why she's not here. So I'm here with you today to continue the show. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the stars. Hope you are having a good trade. Okay, so now we are done with the international news. So now this time, let's go on to the some breakthroughs technologies that have been there in 2022. Exactly. So the first of all, that the point that we are going to take is TikTok recommendation algorithms. Since TikTok was launched in China in 2016, TikTok has become one of the world's fastest growing social media network. It's been downloaded billions of times and attracted hundreds of millions of users. Why? Because the algorithm powered TikTok's For You feed have changed the way people become famous online. Because when the pandemic started, especially these kind of platforms like your TikTok or Facebook, Instagram, these flourished under the pandemic time. Yes. So while other platforms are geared more towards highlighting content with mass appeal, TikTok's algorithm seem just as likely to pluck a new creator out of obscurity as they are to feature unknown stars. Exactly. Okay, that's great. Let's see the next one. So the next one is digital contact tracing. Exactly. That is one of the, you know, top of the breakthroughs in technology. So digital contact tracing, as the coronavirus began to spread around the world, it felt at first as if digital contact tracing might help us. Smartphone app could use GPS or Bluetooth to create a log of people who had recently crossed paths. If one of them later tested positive for COVID, that person could enter the result into app and it would alert others who might have been exposed to, that specific area. Exactly. So, but digital contact tracing largely failed to make much impact on the virus spread. Apple and Google quickly pushed out features like exposure notification to many smartphones, but public health officials struggled to persuade residents to use them. The lessons we learned from this pandemic could not only help us prepare for the next pandemic, but also carry over the other areas of healthcare. Exactly. Okay, so now the next one is a remote everything. This is the I think, and what we all think, this is the one of the most you know top level breakthrough in technology, that is a remote everything. As the COVID pandemic forced the world to go remote, getting that shift right has been especially critical in healthcare and education, because your work was from home, work from home, the schools were at home, the colleges, universities, everything was, from home only. Some places around the world have done a particularly good job at getting remote services in these two areas to work well for people. SnapAsk, an online tutoring company, has more than 3.5 billion users in 9 Asian countries. And Byju's, a learning app based in India, yes, Byju's is a learning app based in India, has seen the number of its users soar to nearly 70 million people worldwide. Not just in India, it's worldwide. Unfortunately, students in many other countries are still floundering with their online classes because the internet connections, and the students in other countries are not so privileged to get the smartphones and everything. Meanwhile, telehealth efforts in Uganda and several other African countries have extended healthcare to millions during this pandemic. In part of world with a chronic lack of doctors, remote healthcare has been a lifesaver. Exactly. It has been, actually. Okay, that's great. So these are some of the breakthroughs in technologies this year. So now, this time or today's, we have half an hour left. So now I'm going to go on the top part, the our main topic for today. So our topic for today will be that how to make a positive first impression in interviews. Exactly, you heard it absolutely correct. How to make your impression if you are going for some work, if you are going for some interview at somewhere. So how to make it a positive first impression, because you must have heard the phrase that the first impression is the last impression. So the type of impressions that you put in your first meeting, in your first interview, depends. It it's like the base. Just like when you are building a home, you need a base to to keep the building ongoing, to build the building on it. Just like that, this is also the first impression is also just like the base of the building. So let's start on how to make a first positive impression in interviews. So what are interviews? During interviews, it can be stressful and intimidating, but they don't have to be. With the right amount and kind of preparation, you can significantly lessen your interview stress. And one way to do is to make sure you are ready to make a good first impression, which is essential meeting anyone, including a prospective employer, for the first time. So to ensure you are leaving a positive first impression in your interviews, follow these some essential tips for it. Okay, so the first one is arrive looking professional. So, whether you want to admit or not, appearance is the most extremely important when making a first impression. And it is not only important to have the right attire and dress in a suit for interviews, but it is also important that the rest of your appearance is impeccable. For example, a messy bedhead or patchy hairstyle can make you seem entitled, or, you know, can make you seem that you are not so interested. So make sure your hair is combed or, brushed and neat. Well, here it is. It is brushed and neat. Exactly. So know that your chances that interviewer will not only be judging your answers, but also if you would be a good representative of the company when meeting with clients. Neat and clean will go long way toward making a solid first impression. Diba? Exactly. Because say, when you are going somewhere, looking good is also, one of the factors, that I'm not saying that it is the it is the main criteria to select you, but it is one of the main factors that is seen, that is judged while you are going for an interview or something like that. Looking professional, because you are going for work. It's a profession. So you should look like, a professional person. You should look like a person who is going for some work. So you need to be, look very professional while going for a work. Well, after reaching to the place, give a firm handshake. It is very much important. Well, these days we are not allowed to, but before the pandemic, we used to give a firm handshake because when I started as well, I used to give a firm handshake. Kasi what happens when you give a firm, handshake, is a key indicator of confidence and professionalism, if you will see. So be sure to shake everyone's hand and who will be interviewing you before you begin your meeting. Well, it's pandemic time, so you can't do that, but make sure to greet the person very well. If you are going to greet the person and in a very good way, like ask them how they are doing and all, the person will feel good. This will make a positive first impression actually, and set the tone for a good meeting, improving your interviewer's sentiments towards you for the rest of the meeting. Exactly. Hello, hello, Miss Sincha Booste. Good morning. And yes, so sorry, because Miss J is not today with us because she's taking care of her, medical requirements and all, because she's having her operation on Monday, I think so. So that's why she's taking care of that. And God bless you too. That's why today I'm here to be with you on Broad Stream Cast Communicators. So yeah, exactly. This is the thing. And keep in mind that nerves can make your heart race and palms sweaty. Always keep in mind. So always keep in mind to have try to practice some anxiety soothing rituals like deep breathing or meditation to lessen your stress, because we all know whenever we are going for our interviews and all, we are going to sweat, and that's for sure. It's like like when I went for my first interview, I was like, oh my gosh, what I'm going to do. Diba? This happens with everyone. Pero keeping those, like deep breathing, doing meditation for 5 minutes and all, it will help you for sure. Now, the next thing is practice active listening. What happens? Uh, it isn't enough to simply answer the questions. You know, you also need to be present to show your interviewers that you are engaged in what they are saying. Well, thank you so much, Miss Shabu State. Happy to see you too here. Today we are like me and Mama J, what I call her. We usually, uh, have a show on Wednesday where I'm with her co-anchor on Wednesday's show. But today she's not here. But it's okay. I'll be here with you from tomorrow. She'll be here with you. So yeah. So let's go back on our like the third point. So things as seemingly simple, such as nod. When your interviewer is saying something, you can nod, you can smile, you can make eye contact. This will go a long way, in showing your prospective employers that you are a thoughtful and a passionate candidate right from the start. Because what happens when you will show that you are interested in, if your interviewer is saying something, you are interested in those parts. See, there she is. There she is. Mama J is in Phil Health office. There she goes. If you can see her message out there. Hope you are doing good, Mama J. And today I'm continuing your show. Thank you so much for this opportunity and for this. Yes, thank you so much, and for this opportunity to Broad Stream Cast Communicators to be with them today. I'm very happy to do a live broadcast on their platform, on their page. Exactly. So yeah, as I was talking about, I was talking about, practice active listening. So what happens when you are listening, to someone, when you are actively listening, it shows the person that you are interested. You are engaged in what they are, you are giving them priority. That whatever they are speaking, you are, getting it. You are like, grasping it at all. That's why. These small gestures like nodding like this or smiling, giving a, not a very big smile, just a proper good smile, or maintaining eye contacts, and maintaining proper eye contacts can also create a stronger feeling of connection, diba? Kasi what happens, uh, you know in some companies, what they see is that how much you're engaged in listening to your bosses and all. That's the thing. Creating a stronger feeling of connection between the group in the interview room will also help you, to stand out among others. What happens if you are actively participating in this? Because in some companies, what happens, they hold a group discussion for, new people, for new employees who want to join, for, so what happens, they create a discussion panel for them. They tell them to discuss on some topic. So if you are going to show your active participation there as well, you are, you will stand out among others, and that will help you for sure. Exactly. Okay, so let's before going on to the next topic, I'll be first talking about the three topics that the 3 points that we have seen. What I have told you just now, we are going to see that. So as you can see, here's one of the logos. If you can see, there's a star and there's one mic in between. So actually, this is one of my, other companies where I work, other than ESL company, other than me and Ms. J Bautista, where like we are ESL instructors. So other than that, I work here, and this company is Star Maker. So actually, this is a global company. If you will see, it's a global platform where you can, you can sing, you can do live broadcasting and all. So when I was going for my interview there, I was, scared. Kasi, you all know what happens when you are going, because you have that feeling that, oh, what will happen, whether I'm going to pass it or not, whether I'm going to make it through or not. So this thing happens with everything, it's not just with you or with some, with some person and all, it's with everyone. Most of the time, what we feel anxious when we are, feel stressed, that nervous. To be exact, the perfect word is nervous, that, oh, what's going to happen? So when I was going for this company there, I was very nervous. The first thing is that I joined them before the pandemic, so giving them a firm handshake, as I said. It is very important, yes. Giving a firm handshake. Diba? See, because, if you are going to show that you care for the person, for the interviewer, you are interested in the person, this will give you, a good impression. This is going to give you a good impression on while you are going to give your interview. Exactly. Okay. So now let's see our fourth point for this topic. Okay. That is, check your non-verbal body language. Similar to active listening, it is quite similar when to the third point, that is active listening. The way you position your body and gestures during your interview, you know, can speak volumes about your work ethic to employers. Like, okay, I'm sitting here, and the way you position your body, like, I'm not going to do like this, or I'm not going to, rest my chin or my head on my hand like this, I'm going to, show interest through body language. Now, it's not the facial expressions or nodding or smiling. Now, it's my body language. how I'm going to, communicate with them, how I'm going to show them that I am interested. To appear open and honest, try to keep your arms and legs uncrossed. Don't cross them. Don't be go like, fold your arms or something like that. And to seem approachable, relax your bro. You don't have to be, angry there. Because if your bros are going to be like this, which is, not good, it's going to show that you are, not relaxed. Either you are angry or something like that. You are not going to, put your, yes, be safe, Mama Jay. Yes, Miss Angelica said that, yes, please stay safe. Exactly. So, to seem approachable, please relax your brows. This is very important. Ignoring these small cues can substantially signal to others that you are hostile or unfriendly. Always keep in mind, because these are the small body languages, small body gestures, that if you're not going to show them, the person sitting there will think that you are hostile or unfriendly. You are not willing to communicate well. You are not willing to make a connection between your interviewer and yourself, and which can immediately put interviewers on guard and affect your interview's outcome. That's the thing. Because what happens when you are giving your interview or something like that, interviewers want your full attention on what they are speaking, on what you are speaking, on the discussion, on the topic that you are going to talk about, your work, about your body languages, about your facial gestures, your the way you behave, the way you prompt the person, the way you are going to give out the reasons to the person, your replies, everything matters a lot. So these are the 4 points to keep in mind, while you are going for interviews. And these are some points to how to make a positive first impression in interviews. So the four, let me just, do it once more. I'll just say you the pointers once again. In short, I'll give you just a summary. So the first of all is arrive looking professional. If you will look professional, it is one of the factors. So one check if you are arriving looking professional. Second is give a firm handshake. Don't do it as of now, because it's pandemic time. Social distancing is absolutely and 100% it is mandatory to keep social distancing, because COVID-19 is a communicable disease, as you all know. And pero if you are not going to follow the thing that I'm saying here, that is, do not give a firm handshake. Instead of that, you can go for greeting the person. Okay, greeting the person and asking them how they are. That's fine for now, because it's pandemic time. Okay, now the next one is your practicing active listening. Practice active listening, because what happens, I told you, it is enough to it isn't enough to simply answer the questions. You also need to present to show your interviews that you are engaged in what they are saying. So practice active listening as well. And last but not the least, the fourth point, that is check your non-verbal body language. It is quite same as the third point, practice active listening, but here it will be your body gestures, your body language, how you are, like the way you are sitting, the way you are replying, it all matters. And a final note on this. It's important that you honestly judge your strengths and weakness well before your interview, so you can cater these tips to your own need. This will help to make most of your first encounter with potential employers, to give you the best chances of landing the job. This is the thing, what happens, it is not applicable to everyone out there. It is very important, before going for interview, you should honestly judge your strengths and weaknesses. Because what happens sometimes, your weakness can become your strength and your strength can become your weakness. So you must, check your strengths and weaknesses before going for some interview or for some job, so that you can cater, these tips, the 4 tips that I have given, to your own needs, whether you need it or not. And this assuring you, the Broad Stream Cast Communicators page is assuring you that you will make most of the first encounters with potential employers to give you the best chance of landing the job. Exactly, Mama J. Most important is you come prepared. You need to be prepared. It's not like you wake up in the morning and you just went, you just had a good attire. You just did a good hairdo, brushed it and neat and clean, and you went for your interview. No, it is not like that. These things is only, these are some of the factors that is going to help you, to get the job. The headlines, what we say, the topmost priorities. So you should be prepared. You should be prepared for it. Exactly. Okay, great, amazing. So now we are done with this topic for today. That is how to make a positive first impression in interviews. You all know it is literally these are the some of the top tips that you can follow. Great, amazing. Okay, so now this time, give me a second. Okay. Okay. Yeah, exactly. We need to be prepared, When we are going for some interview or something like that, we should be prepared for it because we don't know what are the questions that someone's going to ask us. We don't know what will happen, what question they will ask to us. So we need to be prepared for it. And it is very, very, very much important. Exactly. Okay. Okay, so as the second topic was like, how to lessen your interview anxiety. So now I'm going to give you some tips on that because we are still left with 9 minutes. So let me just give you a short, quick review on that part as well. Okay, how to lessen your anxiety when you are going for your interviews. So most of us, get nervous before and during the job interview. But what causes these nervous feeling? That is the simple answer is our mindset. Specific thoughts running through our mind before interview and during interviews, even after interviews, makes us nervous. Some of the most common thoughts that causes great anxiety includes that is, I hope they like me, like they like my interview. I hope that I'm good enough. Who am I to be applying for this? There are way more qualified people and I need to know all the answers. See, it's not always that that you are going to know that you know all the answers for the questions. So whenever we think about these thoughts, we feel pressure to perform, and this creates a sensation in our body. When we feel pressure to perform, we feel nervous or tense. Exactly. I know this because I've been there. I've been at that point of time when I was feeling like, literally, uh, like nervous and all. I was trembling. My hands, my legs were trembling while giving the interview. My first interview, actually. Yes. So, you know, it looks like a thought causes a feeling, which causes an action, you know, and which causes a result. Like I'm having a thought and it causes a feeling. I'm having the thought whether they like me or not, which causes the feeling. Feeling is nervous. I'm feeling nervous. And feeling nervous causes an action, which happened to me. I was trembling. My hands were trembling. My legs were trembling. And which causes a result. I'm nervous. If I'm nervous and all, I'm not going to give proper answers and all. I'm going to stutter there. That's why. So, for example, thought. I have this skill, but I'm not just good at interviewing, so I doubt I'll have a chance. The feeling that you got, doubt. Action, that is to show up to interview in an unconfident state of mind, not as your best self. And what the results that you are going to get is keep getting rejected for jobs. So many people will, unconsciously go through this over and over in their mind and keep getting the same result, getting more and more frustrated each time. So instead, where you want to go with your mind is somewhere more useful, like this thought. I wonder what they'll need, like I wonder what help they'll need and how I can serve this role. The feeling that is uh, you are going to get is curious. You are feeling curious. I wonder why. Action, that is you show up and ask great questions from a place of service and curiosity. And result is that there's an increased chance of getting the job, feeling good about the interview. At the end of the day, you are doing your best to shift your mindset around the interview, but you still catch yourself getting that nervous sensation. It's okay. It's, with everyone. So it's fine. It doesn't have to cost you the job. It's fine. Just the thing is that if you appear, to be a bit nervous, it's probably because you are. We all had, just the thing is that always one thing that I will recommend you is to have, deep breathing. Deep breathing is going to help you for sure, because uncomfortable feeling at times, uncomfortable feelings when you are going at some place happens. You feel nervous. Feeling nervous doesn't mean that you cannot give answers. You need to control yourself. After that, you can, it doesn't make us any less valuable or any less capable of reaching any goal we are striving for. So keep in mind, always have a good meditation before, always have, deep breathe before going for your interview or something like that. Don't worry. Yes, put your best foot forward. Exactly. It is very much important. Absolutely, Mama J, you are absolutely correct that, put your best foot forward, because, don't think that, don't, have experiments while you are giving your interview. Don't have experiments. Don't try to do experiments and all with your interview while you are giving the job. Keep in mind that you need to keep your best foot forward. You need to go, you need to show the best part, not the experimental part. Like, see if I'm going to do like this, what will happen? No, you need to give your 100%. You need to do your 100% best thing, not the experiment side. So, this was the elaborated point of feeling nervous and all, and how to stop that. In the end of the day, at the end of the day, you are going to achieve that goal, whatever you are striving for, and you will get it. So yeah, all the best for all the people out there who are going for their interviews and who will be going for their interviews. Hope so that you will get your dream job, whatever you are striving for. Exactly. So we are just left with 3 minutes. Exactly. So this is your first shot, and if you have a good impression, you will get a call back. Be prepared, be confident, and be truthful. Exactly these 3 words. See, even though Mama J is not with us here, she is commenting down below. Be prepared. You need to be prepared. Everything. Do not do experiments. Be prepared. Second, be confident. Even if you don't know the answer, don't make up the answers. Be confident. Say what you know, say what you don't know. The third one, be truthful. Always be truthful. Do not, go with some never ever lie while you are giving your interview, because you don't know what thing will come next, what they are going to ask you. So always be truthful. These are the 3 things that you should, keep in your mind. Be prepared, be confident, and be truthful. Okay, these 3 points exactly. Okay, so now last 2 minutes are left. So at the end, I just want to say to everyone that, you know, don't worry, be confident, have confidence in yourself. You can get through it. You can, you are the person. Have confidence in yourself and you will get it. That's it for today. And hope so, Mama J, you are good, and everyone out there, you all are good. Take care. Always keep in mind, as Mama J says, always keep three things in mind: the love, faith, and hope. Exactly. Pag-asa, pagmamahal. I don't know the third word. It's okay. And these three things always keep in your heart. And spread love. Be positive. Take care. Stay safe. So this is your co-host, co-anchor on Wednesday show, Shrey Ignacio Sharma with JC Bautista on Buhay Online. And signing off for today's show. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and enjoy your day ahead. Magandang hapon. And here we go.
Ito ang
Bye-bye, everyone. Yes, pag-asa, panampalatay, and pagmamahal. Exactly. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. See ya. Thank you so much, Miss Chabuste. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye. See ya, everyone. Take care. And